Let's not overreact, but Shohei Ohtani to the Blue Jays is starting to get very real. Look at the betting odds. The Blue Jays keep on climbing the ladder. Let's look at all the reports that are coming out. The Blue Jays are mentioned in each and every one of them. And one key team that was probably going to rival the Blue Jays when it comes to acquiring the services of Shohei Ohtani, they've dropped out of the sweepstakes. So we'll break that down and much more on this episode of Jays Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Now, I thought I would have to be the sacrificial lamb for the Blue Jays to get Ohtani because I was gone for a few days. Nick held it down. Shout out to you, Nick, again. But you look at all the reports that came out, you look at all the positive news that was circulating about the Blue Jays and acquiring Shohei Ohtani. I had nothing to do with it. So then I come back, the news kind of slows down for a day, but I'm back, baby. I'm back, and so is the Shohei Ohtani news because all these reports are coming out right now that the Blue Jays are front runners. They're not just going to be in the mix, that they're looking to pursue him heavily and probably heavier than any other team out there in Major League Baseball. The betting odds keep working in the Blue Jays' favor. Obviously, the Dodgers are big-time favorites, but the Blue Jays are now second, and we'll elaborate upon that as the video goes here. And one team dropped out of the sweepstakes, so as far as we're concerned, Nick, it's down to like a 3-team race right now, maybe 4 if you want to include the LA Angels, and we're still pretty early into the offseason, so things are starting to work out in the Jays' favor, and who knows? It might be a legit possibility. It might be something that we may not have seen coming, but it's definitely real.
Yeah, and Ben Nicholson-Smith, they just came out with their podcast, and he dropped some very, very big, interesting tidbits. Before we get into that, we're less than 70 subscribers away from 10,000. 70% of you guys who are watching right now are not subscribed. Scroll down if you're not subscribed. Help us towards that goal. The goal is to hit it by December 1st, and maybe we can do that, maybe not. But again, thank you for your support. All right, let's get into it, Peter. We have a lot to discuss today. So let's start with the most recent report, then we'll get into the other things. This dropped 3 hours ago from Ben Nicholson-Smith, and it was about their At the Letters podcast, and we're going to focus. And the quick thing, basically what he says is that Shohei Ohtani is legit on the table. Now, if you've been keeping up with Ben Nicholson-Smith's reporting regarding this over the past, really since the offseason started, he has been very on the side of the Jays are not going to get Shohei Ohtani, and this is the first time that he kind of, regarded the Jays as a potential actual suitor rather than just doing their due diligence. Peter, this is pretty big news to me, especially the Ben Nicholson-Smith front, because he's been super safe about it as of late. He finally said that he's on the table and kind of gave in to all the rumors that are coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems more and more real by the day, Nick. I didn't believe it at first. I was erring on the side of caution as well. But now you're seeing all these things come out, and you're seeing what Ross Atkins said the other day in his presser, that there's a great opportunity to do something here. And I believe that the Jays can get it done financially. They have more money than pretty much anyone in all of Major League Baseball, so they can get it done on that front. Now it's whether or not Shohei wants to spend some of his prime years here in Toronto, whether he wants to move to another country and kind of reestablish his brand on a different front. So there's a lot of factors that are going to go into this decision, not just for the Blue Jays, but for him as well. And ultimately they may get beat out by the Dodgers just because of where they're located, just because of what the Dodgers can offer to him. But who knows? I mean, it's a wide open race as far as I'm concerned right now, and there's no bigger superstar in the game than Shohei Ohtani. And I think the Blue Jays not only realize that it's a great investment on the field, but this would be a great investment off the field as well. You would make that money back that you're giving to him just through merchandise, just through TV deals, just through advertisement deals. This is a mega star right here that we're talking about, and someone that can impact the game off the field just as much as he can on it. And the Blue Jays realize that this is smart business, so their payroll plan, their offseason plan, it's all out the door if they can acquire Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, and let's get into some of the reports here that we saw. And this is a quick mention yesterday regarding Shohei. Obviously, we're aware that Yusei Kikuchi went to the same high school as Shohei Ohtani, albeit Kikuchi is older, so it wasn't at the same time. But Ohtani has always admired Yusei, or Kikuchi is always, Ohtani has always admired Yusei Kikuchi, getting the names mixed up. But let's get into this, Peter. This was from yesterday. So sources, Ohtani sweepstakes are moving along, and the Texas Rangers and at least one other AL East team has dropped out. Teams who feel they aren't real players are beginning to take themselves out of talks, and then it was later revealed that it was the Boston Red Sox who dropped out, and this coincides with some of the betting odds. This was 20 minutes ago. Bet365 removed the option where Ohtani ends up on the betting odds and have upped the Blue Jays World Series odds. This literally dropped 20 minutes ago. So for all you in Canada on Bet365, interesting, something to keep in mind. And then if you're looking at some of the other odds here, you have the Jays plus 700 here. ESPN, as of 5 minutes ago, has them at plus 400, Peter, which is the lowest we've seen it. If you're unfamiliar with betting odds, the lower the number, the better it is. The more likely that he's going to go to that team in theory. Peter, I don't know. The odds are flowing. I don't even know what to expect at this point, but I'm all in. I know a lot of Jays fans are the same way. I'm ready. I'm setting myself up for immense amounts of pain, but this is the most fun it's been. This is the most exciting offseason I've had, even if it's just because of the Shohei Ohtani rumors, since the last time I can remember.
I mean, just ask yourself this. I mean, as Blue Jay fans, we always kind of have that sense of inferiority where we're wondering, why would a guy want to come here? Why would a guy want to come to Canada? Why would he want to play for the Blue Jays? Let me tell you why. You know, there's a lot of great players on this team, and they're one piece away. It's one of the better cities in all of North America. It's the fourth largest city in North America when it comes to metropolitan areas. That's no joke, man. You can make big time money here. Yeah, I get the tax situation. I get the cold, but you get taxed just as much in LA and just as much in New York as you would here in Toronto. And by the way, you're getting paid in American money. You're getting paid in American dollars. That kind of ups your value or your money by 30% as well by the end of a paycheck. So that money that you're getting taxed on, you're kind of getting it back in exchange rate. So there's a lot of advantages to playing for Canada's only team in Toronto. You got a whole country behind you. There's so many positives to focus on. So why not us? You know, why do we have to say I'm setting myself up for failure? I don't see it happening. The Blue Jays have just as good of a shot or just as good of a pitch as any team in Major League Baseball to land a megastar, and especially an international superstar like Shohei Ohtani. So I'm going to be more optimistic here. I'm going to say I'm not. Do I think it's going to happen? Maybe not, but I think there's a legit possibility, and I think the Blue Jays have some great selling points here. And also, when you talk about betting odds, Nick, there's one more thing that I wanted to mention here. Fangraphs, they put the Blue Jays as the team that they expect to get the fourth most wins in all of Major League Baseball, just behind the Braves, the Rays, and the Dodgers, if I'm not mistaken. So you're wondering, after last season, with this current roster that they have, how are they predicting them to go ahead and do that? Fs is anticipating a big time move that we've been talking about here for quite a while. So Fangraphs is high on the Blue Jays. The betting odds are high on the Blue Jays. Those are usually signs pointing in the right direction. Vegas knows things that we do not, that we, the common people, do not know about the insides of sports. So look at that, and that should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, this is the fun part of the offseason. I literally I realized this when I brought the screenshot up. We did jump the Chicago Cubs for the first time since the betting odds have opened up, at least regarding ESPN bets. And again, it's fluctuating between, but we did jump them, and we're very, very close to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I think ultimately it's going to come down to where Shohei wants to play. I don't think the Jays are going to get outbid if they're actually going for Ohtani, like it seems like. They're not going to get outbid. The question is, will they pay enough, as in however much more it'll cost, and maybe persuade him like we did for some of our other free agents. But one other thing to note, and some people around Jays have been talking about this, we're probably the best, arguably, along with the Dodgers. They have two MVP caliber players set up to take in Shohei Ohtani. We have the way better pitching staff than Los Angeles Dodgers, if we're just comparing it to them, at least at this point. We're set up to let him rest, let him play DH, especially with Brandon Belt going back. And you have him protected, or the other way around, him protecting Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, George Springer, and so on. So I don't know, Peter. It's starting to sound nice, but at the very least, I'm going to say this again. If we don't get Ohtani, all these odds are starting to seem like we're getting one of the big 3 or 4 players, whether that's Yamamoto, Bellinger, Ohtani, and then there's a bunch of other ones you can kind of put together. Juan Soto, in this case, would be a potential trade target, but I don't know. I'm all in here. Winter meetings start in 2 days, so I suspect Ohtani's decision will be made over the next 3 to 5 days, and I don't know. I'm all here for it. Maybe this weekend will be some big news, or maybe it'll be a heartbreak, because I'll tell you one thing, even if he signs with Los Angeles Dodgers, we're going to have a video reacting to that just with some heartbreak.
I texted you this, Nick, and I see the Blue Jays signing a big time free agent with an opt out after 2 years, and then maybe trading for someone else like Juan Soto, or they have to go all in at some point because we've realized over the past few years here that this roster is just not built to go deep into the playoffs, not the way that it's currently constructed. Maybe with Marcus Semien, I would have had a different answer, but they don't have Marcus Semien anymore, so they need that superstar that they've been missing. Whether it's Juan Soto, Cody Bellinger, Shohei Ohtani, they got to get like two two big time guys in this offseason and really vault this team into contention because as it stands right now, they're far. They're far away, and they still have a long ways to go before being amongst the upper echelon of teams, of players. But it'll help if they get that Japanese superstar and kind of springboard their contention window, I guess. But they have 2 years to get something done here, and I think the Jays are going to be very aggressive this offseason like we've never seen before.
Yeah, and I'm ready for it. And hopefully, I suspect a move will happen sometime this weekend, or at least over the next week or so. So we'll have you covered for that. If you want to check out our video from yesterday discussing Ohtani some more, click on your screen now. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And hopefully, like I say at the end of every video, we're announcing Ohtani to the Blue Jays.